So my paintings span like a range of styles, but I think the one I particularly enjoy doing is mixed media, because I like to create art that you don't only see, but you can touch it. But at the base, it's usually acrylics. Opportunities in general. I feel like if you don't make a conscious effort to
see them,
you won't get it. Because if you're just in your little bubble, you're doing nothing proactively to get opportunity. No one is going to hand it to you.
Sure. So they're not as good as you. They are doing it.
Exactly.
Why are you not doing it? But you don't know until you don't try.
Manchester, come on.
It's
cold, it's wet. You don't have that many people around you.
Sure.
Like sometimes you need like a support system of sorts.
Kind of replicate what others are, no?
Because where's the creativity in that if you're just doing what everyone else is doing? I would say I'm like a people pleaser. Like I sometimes like to do things to please people. But what keeps me in check?
No, the answer was quite shocking. She said the day I came to England.
Really? So
Hi everyone and welcome back to Firebird Development Channel. Today's guest is Andrew. He's a painter and we're just gonna get to know him and his story. Welcome Andrew and thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome. How did you find your way here? Everything good?
Yeah, it was good. It's been a packed day. But
you've been busy today?
Yeah, it was finally here.
That's good. Busy sometimes is good, no?
Yeah, definitely. Keeps your mind occupied. Yeah.
That's good, Andrew. So, probably some viewers will not know who you are. So, can you tell us more about you? Like, where do you live now currently? Or maybe where you're from, something like that.
Right. So my name is Andrew. As you rightly pointed out, I'm originally from West Africa, Ghana. I've been in the UK for 3 years now. I live like dead in the middle of a city centre.
In Manchester?
Exactly.
That's good.
Yeah, the northern quarter to be specific. It's close to where I work, so it's easier to commute to and from work. And on that note, I currently work as an account manager at a design firm. So we deal with like microsites, we deal with websites, we deal with animations, poster designs and brochures. Usually work for law firms, but I feel like it's a good place to grow my creativity as an artist as well. So that's just a little about me.
That's good. That's great. It's good to live in Manchester, like city centre. I can imagine probably the rent is a bit more expensive there.
Definitely more expensive.
But like starting to see now it matters where you live. Like sometimes, like until now I was not really noticing, but sometimes now when I exit and I see the same scenarios all the time, it's a bit depressive now. So I'm like, I've been like few days, I don't know, like last week I've been in Liverpool city centre, or the same if you go Manchester and I see all kind of new faces, everyone is animated, everyone nicer place. It has an impact, I think, also on your mental health when you have a nicer area where you live.
Definitely, because like I feel like being in the middle of everything, apart from like the convenience as well, there's also places you could go that if you have had a stressful week, a stressful day, you can decompress, just enjoy the sights and sounds of the city. Sometimes it can get overwhelming, don't get me wrong, but most of the time it's quite a relief to be so close to everything
what you need, especially probably transport wise and things like that.
Exactly.
And also you said you're next to the work, no? Like you're near the your workplace as well.
Exactly.
It's good.
Convenient.
I was thinking as well at one point I was thinking like sell everything and from the house and like just have to be able to move just with a backpack and maybe go somewhere in city centre in Manchester or somewhere. So even if you need collaborations or something, I think it's more things happening in a big city.
Definitely.
More opportunities.
But I think for me personally, even though I'm living in city centre and like smack in the middle of everything, I do sometimes crave like the quiet and calm.
We will do that.
Exactly. Of like rural town life.
True.
And so if left to me alone, if I could get a backpack like you're saying and just move away. I would like to move to like the quieter parts.
A bit quieter,
exactly. Like outskirts of Manchester. Like recently, my girlfriend and I were in Edinburgh.
It's very nice. I've been as well. I've been there as well.
Very, very picturesque, very calm, very quiet. So I would love something like that. I think because of the work I do and my current needs right now, like what I have is what I need right now. And maybe eventually I'll move away from all of that.
But you see, I think everyone works towards that. Like me, the same in my head is like, I need to make it, and after I can move where I want, I can do what I want, I can take off when I want.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Or like how you said, I think the way, like me, where I'm living here, it is quiet, but it's a rough area a bit. So that's why maybe the same. If I will find a more quieter, but maybe a bit better area, the same will do as well.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, I think also it saves you. When you live in the town center, you don't need a car.
Exactly.
No?
So you save up
save on the car and on the insurance and the gas and everything.
Even transportation.
Even though you pay a bit more on rent, but you can.
It levels out eventually. Yeah, because if I had a car, I'd be paying like way more.
Yeah.
Like, for me, I think I'm satisfied with what I have currently.
Yeah.
Then when my needs do change.
Yeah, when
like
they change.
Something more quiet and. Far removed from all.
So then you might need a car, but until then you're fine.
Exactly.
That's good.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you said you're from Ghana. I don't know why I had the impression you're from Nigeria, but okay.
I'm Ghanaian. Yeah.
Do you miss home sometimes? Or?
I do miss home.
How many years you're here?
About 3 years.
3 years.
I feel like the first 2 to 3 months were the most difficult.
No, yeah.
Because obviously Ghana is like a tropical country.
I can imagine.
And we've got beaches, we've got lakes.
Very nice.
You've got friends you grew up with, and all of that.
Yeah.
So moving to a new country where it's cold, it's wet.
Yeah.
I mean, Manchester, come on.
Yeah.
It's cold, it's wet. You don't have that many people around you.
Sure.
Like sometimes you need like a support system of sorts.
Yeah.
So first 2-3 months were a bit like tough and lonely.
Yeah.
But I think I found the hang of it, and it's been good so far.
That's good. Like for me, it took about 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah, 2 years. Yeah.
What was it? What was it you were struggling with most of all?
I think a bit of everything. Like even until I learned the system, because when I came to some friends, but they didn't know very well either. So it was like, it's funny because they told me, come here, we're gonna sort you out, they're gonna find you a job. I came here, I didn't know to do anything.
Exactly.
I needed to ring myself to do an insurance number. I came here and I found them job.
Right.
So I came, I was speaking better English than them. It just happened for me to know better. They didn't know. It's nothing wrong. Now they know, but in that moment they just said, we know everything, but they didn't know. Anyway, so I kind of needed to take charge from the first day I came. So I managed to find us jobs in a house to rent together with these friends of mine. But and after that, what was hard, the weather, the people, somehow I couldn't really connect with them at the beginning. I was trying to make with them a connection as I do in Romania. Like a very, I don't know, like not deep, but in Romania it's easier. Like people just speak with no reason with you. They get into a conversation and. Anyway, so I find it a bit difficult until I found some friends, until I put myself with a more stable job, because I found jobs in agencies, and agencies are today they send you there, today, tomorrow, anyway. So it took me about 2 years
to find something stable.
I
get that. As well.
And then to learn everything and to, I don't know how to explain it in a better way.
And there's also like you said, like connecting with people, so the cultural shock element, because so many things are done differently here than it would be back home. True. So it takes a while to get your head around it and properly understand. So I do understand that perfectly. True.
But another thing is, like in my hometown, I don't know if to say I had a reputation or something, but people somehow give me a bit more respect, or you come here and everyone looks at you like, who are you? And like they don't care about you, and like you feel like a bit like, I don't know how to explain it.
I get it. Like coming here, like I'm the last child out of 3 kids, and so like I was very sheltered, and a lot was done for me in that aspect. So like a lot of things I had to figure out, like when I came here by myself. And so imagine not doing some of these things by yourself ever in your life, and then
have to do them. It's that shock.
So it's a bit of a shock. It's a wake up call.
Exactly.
But I feel like it's molded me and obviously made me mature faster.
I was gonna go there. Like I feel like for me as well, it kind of matured me, and spiritual as well.
Exactly.
Because it's new things that you need to deal with, to learn, to everything. So, and also because you're a bit more cut off from the other friends and things like that, you have time to analyze yourself.
Yes, and
you have a bit of solitude.
Yeah,
and that many times. To most of the people, they give some kind of spiritual awakening. I would say, no?
Exactly. Yeah. Definitely.
Because you can reflect better.
Yeah. And better understand yourself and why you do things the way you do.
Sure. So how do you find UK, Manchester, comparing with Ghana or your hometown? Like, do you any similarities or differences? Or
I think it's largely different. The most obvious thing is the weather. It's wet, and I mean it's wet here and cold as compared to back home, which is like warm. It's tropical. There's also like the family element to it, which is like back home I had like a litany of people who like support me and can help with things. But then over here you are kind of left by yourself to figure things out. So there's that as well. I guess some of the positives of Manchester would be like you know how systems work.
It's better systems.
Exactly, definitely better systems.
Do you feel there's more opportunities here?
Definitely more opportunities as well. It exposes you to a lot of things, and like I said, you learn to figure things out yourself and find ways to make things work. Whereas back home, you could fall into the trap of just being a bit lackadaisical and not like putting in effort to go grab things for yourself. Do you get what I mean? So I think first and foremost, weather's vaguely different. There's also like the family element, the friends, all of that. But when you look at the positives, like systems here work, the opportunities here as well. So it's quite different.
So everywhere is good and bad.
Exactly.
It's a funny story. Like my brother said when he was working in a bakery, he was working with an older lady, and she was from Poland or something. And my brother was bored, and he likes to make conversation usually at work, and he's like, I don't know how he came with this question, and he said, if you could go back in the past and change something, what would you change? And the answer was quite shocking. She said, the day I came to England.
Really? So she regrets it that much?
Yeah, but not in the sense that England is bad. But she said she doesn't feel at home anywhere now. So she said if she would have not come from beginning, she wouldn't have this feeling of being split in, like, because she likes probably the good parts of England, but she can't go back home anymore now because she knows it's better here. I don't know if you get me. So if you don't know it from beginning, you just started there, and you know. So that's why, not in the sense that something really bad happened to her here. Probably she liked it here because they came opportunities, money, you know. But she was feeling like stranger here and stranger there. So she's like, if she wouldn't come from beginning, that was crazy.
I feel like off the top of that, like that's something that. And something that scares me about going back home, because I knew how things were back then. But then obviously being here for a while, I would call this place like my home now. Going back home, everything has moved on since you left. So and finding a place for you to fit in,
it's harder now.
You'd be out of place, like, even though technically that's my home.
You still out of place even there.
Exactly. So I do understand her feeling like a stranger in both worlds. I feel like luckily for me, like I have I've set roots here that kind of keep me like grounded.
That's good.
Like I'm here with my girlfriend. I've got a stable job.
That's good.
All these things are things I can reflect on if I ever feel out of place or
of course it matters. Or like communities, I don't know, church or something. If people
all those things.
It helps.
They help keep you grounded, as opposed to going back home and realizing life has moved on in your absence, and now finding a place for you to fit in can get a bit tricky. For sure.
So now let's just get into the artistic side of yours. What kind of paintings do you do?
So my paintings span like a range of styles, but I think the one I particularly enjoy doing is mixed media, because I like to create art that you don't only see, but you can touch it.
So you do like texture or something?
Exactly.
Exactly.
So I play around with several textures. My primary base is acrylics at this moment. I've tried watercolor.
You tried more.
I've tried some oils in the past, but I feel like currently acrylics is what works for me. So that's my base. But then I experiment with other things like plaster for painting. I experiment with textiles, so like sticking them on the sheets. I experiment with like newspaper prints, magazines, all of that, just to get a message across. So mixed media is my thing, but at the base is usually acrylics.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. And what kind of paintings do you like to paint more, or?
So I feel like I had a bit of an awakening like 2 years ago, where I wanted to create art that has a meaning to it. I know it sounds a bit cliche, but after painting for a while, you start to strive for like a certain purpose, like a reason why you're doing what you do.
Sure.
So for me, it surpasses just creating artworks that are beautiful to look at. I like to create artwork that has some meaning to it. So that's the kind of artwork I do, work that gets you thinking about things happening around us, or topics people are not too confident to talk about. So stuff like that. I want to challenge the way people think with my art.
That's very, very good. And that's what I'm trying a bit also, like with that's why, for example, I'm a photographer to the base, and I also work as a videographer for a guy now doing YouTube videos, but it's like it's a bit fun, no? Like self-development, or like doing podcasts, interviewing people like you, things like that. Why did I jump so far? It's kind of the same how you said. Like I feel like I need to do something that gives a meaning.
Exactly. It leaves an imprint of sorts, like in people's mind. I would want people to see what I've created and then go back and reflect on it and start to think about some of the issues represented in that. Like it gives me personally like a sense of fulfillment. So that's the direction I am taking with my art. So I perfectly understand.
I think this is the right way. Hopefully, we'll see.
For sure. So hopefully I can meet like-minded like creatives who also want to like challenge people's way of thinking through their art, be it through music, photography, like videos, all of that. I love being able to work with people like that, because it gives you a new meaning to what you do and why you do it. I really enjoy collaborations with like other creatives as well.
Very good. Collaboration is good. Like unfortunately, school teaches us, like, don't cheat, stay and don't show to no one. That's not true in real life. In real life, you need to go and share with everyone, and need to collaborate with as many people as possible. Like the richest people, they're all working together. In school, they don't teach us that.
Exactly. I feel like when it comes to arts in particular, I don't think any artist is an original. Like I feel like every artist borrows elements from other creatives to make their things. So I don't think there's like plagiarism or like this is just mine and I can't share with anyone when it comes to like the art world, the creative world, because you borrow from that's the beauty of it.
But you put your own imprint on it.
Exactly.
You can't copy it exactly. But of course you need to get inspiration.
From other places. And the beauty of it is being able to pull together these different elements to make something unique. But then at the base of it all, I think is being self-aware enough to understand, like, I'm not the author of all of this. Like, I am just studying and then pulling together different pieces to make my own.
So how did it start, the painting? Who inspired you or put you towards it, like showed you direction? Or
I feel like with that, like it traces way back to like when I was a child. My mother's half brother was in the army, so he used to come home just a few times. I see him like 3-4 times a year, and anytime he comes home, like he like makes like a drawing for me. And as a child, like you're so impressed by that. Even now as an adult, I don't remember if they were necessarily like good drawings, but then it started in me like a desire to to want to do the same thing he's doing. I had a cousin who used to draw as well, so that also motivated me. And my grandparents didn't live like anywhere close to us, so anytime we're going to visit them, I took like a drawing. I know drawings like from children are not necessarily like top notch, but then they always praise me for my drawings, and so I always wanted to do more.
That's good.
So I feel like my family was very supportive in that respect. So for me, it was just a matter of like learning by myself and trying to make my craft better. So I started as a child, and I just kept doing it because I was supported at home with it. So I would say that's how it started.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. How about you? How did your photography start?
I mean, I kind of always wanted to be a photographer. But I don't know, like the first idea was like, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago or something, when it was weird stuff. I was at my grandma's. She lives in the village side. The house was not that great there, and I had at that time a phone with a camera. I was a bit bored. I was looking, and on the ceiling was a crack, and I was like, that crack looks interesting. And I was like, I made some pictures, and I was like, just felt artistic somehow. Anyway, that's one. And another one was, I was with some friends. I think it was the same phone, probably the same period. I was on like in the nature somewhere, and I seen how you call it, a tree struck by lightning, like split in two, and you could see where it burned. Like you see, it burned from until down. So it was very interesting. I might still have the picture. Maybe I'll put it on the video. And I did the same with that, with the video, with the phone that I had at that time. It was not that good. The phone, I don't remember. It was 10 or 14 years ago. I don't remember. It was a while ago. Anyway, never had money to pursue that. And after at one point, this was before coming to UK. I was even going all the time in the tech shop and straight to the cameras. And I was keeping it in my hand, and I was looking at them, and I was like, I want one. And I was looking, it's like £800, but you know, in my country, £800 was a lot. So I was like, I don't know when I can grab one, you know. Anyway, so then I came to England, and in the first year, that's what I first did. I financed my first camera. When I first started here 7 years ago. But you see, the design was a bit before that. And then here, what I did, I played with it about 3 months. I did the new Facebook, you know, and I give it a nice name and things. And at one point after, when things got a bit harder, or the weather is a bit harsh here, I just left it. So I played about 3 months, and after I stayed on my shelf for 3 years. Really? Really?
So what happened to make you like get back into it?
So the thing, what happened is, like, I was through a rough period. So it's like I had a period that was like drinking all the time, smoking, all kind of bad vices. I think I had even some kind of depression, but I was not naming it. I was not aware. But now I'm looking, that was symptoms like a depression. I just wanted everyone to leave me alone. I just wanted my life to finally just be quiet and chill. Like I wanted to escape everything in a way. Anyway, so that's how I was escaping with other things. And it went worse and worse and worse and worse. And it was more like a heartbreak. Like, I mean, that was the one that really covered everything, and it crushed me to bits. And from then I said to myself, never again. So never again I'll allow myself to reach this kind of moment in my life, that because I realized it was my fault, everything, you know. Like the situation where I was, it was me completely. So I was like, I need to change myself completely, so this will never happen again. So I said, never again. I was thinking to myself, I said, never again. Anyway, so since then I started to, like, slowly just left the vices and things, and I had such a big void in me, you know, like probably from all the vices that before I was doing regularly, and also that relationship from that time, and I was not feeling. I was at one point working out every day. I was doing things, but something was missing. So I just took the camera one day, I went around and I like it. So I see like the things were getting better when I was grabbing the camera and playing and going taking photos. Anyway, so I got it again and again and again, and at one point I was like, let me do an online course now, and after let me do another one and another one, and one about editing. So I did about 6 courses and things like that, and after I got some jobs, like a freelance job, and after I did the CV, and after I got my first job in a company as a photographer. Anyway, long story.
That's a good story though. Like it seems like that gave you a sense of purpose.
It
was something, like we were talking about anchors before, it was something that anchored you and like kept you moving. That's definitely a good story. And I commend you for being able to like realize that, like being self-aware to realize like you wanted to stop this. And then finding a way to.
I blame myself. I took massive accountability because I realized it's just me. It's no one else. I took all the bad choices.
Which is true. That's true. So congratulations on
thank
that.
Thank you.
Now we're here.
We're like the same, like you see now a bit the photo side, it's stagnating. It's not stagnating. I've been even like I do sometimes shoots for myself, like I've been doing some wildlife. And a friend had a nice car and I did some photos for him with his new car. So from time to time I'm still doing, but now it's kind of transition to video. You know? And I think it's nothing wrong. I was reading in a book that a man or a woman probably we have multiple purposes, and you need to imagine your purpose like you peel an onion. It's layers. So maybe maybe I said, my purpose is to be the best photographer. But maybe now I transition to video, and maybe now is to be the best motivational speaker, for example. So or you know, like, or the best YouTuber. I don't know, you know. And then maybe you do this for 10 years, and maybe you peel it again, and you find another purpose. Maybe you're like, I want to help people with I don't know what. You know, I'll give you an example. Or I want to, I don't know, you know. So they say sometimes we can have multiple purposes, and you go from one to another, like you peel an onion. If you get me.
And as a creative, I don't think there's a hard and fast rule about like sticking to one thing. It sounds a bit restrictive and like suffocating.
That's my biggest problem with photography as well, because I am mostly portraits, but I like wildlife. I like any photography.
Exactly.
I like nature. I like cityscapes, like night photography. I'm like and I need to put on that Instagram because it's made specially just for portraits. I need to put just portraits there, but I'm like
so much more.
So the same, no? You feel like you want to experiment with everything.
Exactly. Because there's no way to find out what exactly is for you if you don't try
all of
other
them.
things. Do you know what I mean?
And maybe a few times until you figure out.
Because you never get something like at once. You need to practice several times. So
True.
I think for me personally, I also don't like the idea of like sticking to just one thing and and seeing that like I want the liberty to
do whatever you want.
Do exactly.
I feel the same.
Find out what works for me and what doesn't.
True.
It's like when we're kids, like sometimes they tell you do this and don't do this. And for me, I always had like a lot of questions in my head. I didn't always articulate these questions, but I had a lot of questions in my head, like the why. Like how do I know?
So you need to try it.
Exactly.
I'm the same. It's
exactly.
crazy.
So I understand you on that.
Like I have a bit this thing, the same now even with the video side, in the sense that if you watch other YouTubers, they will tell you find a niche and speak just about a certain topic or like that, and I'm like, come on, I want to speak about everything at least that impacted me, and that I have an answer to or I have a different opinion about. So I'm like, and other YouTubers will say, but you don't need to do selfish content. You need to do content for what your viewers want. But sometimes the viewers don't know what they want until you don't do it, you don't show it. Because of course they will take what's in trend, but maybe your unique perspective takes time, and if you stick to it, they will be after, look, that guy is actually doing something different and better, and but it's harder to go in your own way, and you know what I'm saying?
Sometimes it's scary to deviate from like the norm, because you don't know if like
if it will work or not.
Exactly. It's a risk. It's a risk, but it's a risk you should be willing to take if you want to figure out like what works for you.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
And I think the selfish content is the best content.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the selfish content in the sense that's how they call it. I'm not saying it's selfish, but in the sense that when you do this content, is you do it exactly what you want, what you want to transmit in your own way, and you want to impact in a certain way.
Yeah.
That was never done like that.
Yeah.
So that's the best content, not the one that you kind of replicate what others are. No?
Yeah. Because where's the creativity in that if you're just doing what everyone else is doing?
Or what is working at the moment.
Exactly. And like what you said about the masses not knowing exactly what they want until they see it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure when people were riding horses, like no one thought I would need a car or I would need like a carriage. Like, until it was made, like, people didn't really see the need for it. That's why like people who venture into like different things, like things that are not on trend. Like initially people see you and think, oh, like this looks weird or this looks like wrong or whatever. But with time people warm up to it because like you create a need for what
exactly. And the thing is if you do just for the trend or what the people likes the most, you might do some money on the moment or it might work, but when the trend dies, you die as well. But if you're just unique in your own way, you never die because it's nobody like you. If you tap into the authenticity, you'll always be you. You're not gonna be like that trend and die with the trend. And of course, maybe at some point even you need to reinvent yourself, but even when you reinvent yourself, you reinvent it in your own way. You don't, you need to have this power probably, I don't know, to, how you say, risk, to take these risks, to be different.
And one thing with trends as well is it tends to quickly become oversaturated. There's so many people who are doing it.
Exactly.
What sets you apart? Why should yours be any different from his? But then when you're doing something you know and you love, like you do it to the best of your ability, and so like no one can do it the way you can do it. So
I think maybe the trends, maybe when you are very sure, like not all the time, maybe for example once, twice, 3 times a year, let's say you can jump on it, but not like to do it like your style, you get me, like just all the time. What you need to, I think that's what my opinion, stick to your intuition and your authenticity. But of course if you like see a trend and you want to do something, do it once, twice, but you know what I'm saying, like don't overdo it probably.
Perfectly agree with that.
It's the same with my photography, for example. When I started shooting models. And it's nice to see a beautiful woman and things like that. Everything's fine. But I see the more I got into it, and Instagram has the algorithm has a way to show you more people interested in the same things. So it showed me more and more models. And somehow, not all of them, but most of them go the route to more indecent, to more like most models they lose themselves over the time and maybe end up doing nudes and OnlyFans and so I was like, do I really want to do this? And like, so I'm like, that's why also like I feel like self-development is different. Of course, my photography that I do, like family session for portraits, or I'm okay, but like at one point I had a collaboration with a model, and it was the shoot was a bit more erotic kind of.
Right.
And I got like 80 pictures, but I put on my profile just 6 that were looking more decent, because I was like, this is not my style. It's not for me. But for example, other photographers will do it for the likes, just for the money, for the money, But I'm like, no, I can't. It's not what I want. You know what I'm saying? So
and it's standards. Like I feel like the same with like any job you get into, just having a set of rules, like
morals.
Exactly, you're not willing to compromise on, like, because there are some things that I just would never do, and I feel like it gives like respect to your brand. It gives a certain exclusivity, because anyone else can do it. But then if you are not doing it, that's your brand.
You'll find people that will resonate with you.
Exactly. So I respect that because people chase the money and do like anything at all. But then at the end of the day, like, what does that say about you as a person, or like what you hold true to yourself as like your values and stuff. So I do respect that. Do respect that.
or sometimes I don't know if it's the case with you or something, but for me sometimes I feel like a weirdo or something like that, you know, because I'm so different and I think so different and I see not many people resonate with me. But I think it was even a song and was saying, you are a weirdo, but do you prefer to be the same like the other ones? I will take weirdo over average all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Much better to like be different than to be like regular or like normal, just like everyone else. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
So for me, like I've always grown up feeling like I think differently.
I'm the same
from other people, and like me personally, sometimes I don't quite understand like why I do things the way I do them, or like why I feel things the way I feel them. Because sometimes I find my emotions are a bit more heightened than they should be. I feel strongly about things that seem like small things, or like I think too deeply about things that are just surface level. But like growing and like maturing as a person, and obviously through my relationships as well, especially the current relationship I'm in, like it's taught me to like confront some of these things and find out like why am I acting the way I'm acting? Why am I doing this? And I see it's fine sometimes to be set apart from other people. You shouldn't be like everyone else.
That's my opinion as well. If everyone will have the courage and to be different, I think the world will be better. Because there are many people that they don't. So they repeat what they hear, but it's not their true opinion. But they don't want to be disliked, they're afraid of being judged. So they will, if 10 people says one thing, the 11 will say the same, even if he thinks different.
Exactly that. I'll say on like off the back of that, like I would say I'm like a people pleaser. Like I sometimes like to do things to please people. But what keeps me in check is the fact that I am also quite stubborn and like firm in my ways. So until I understand why I'm doing something or why this should be done this way, like I won't compromise just to please other people, even though at the core of it all, like I like to be palatable, to be nice. Do you get what I mean?
I get you. And what would you say was some, I don't know, challenges, difficulties on your road? Firstly, as an artist, as a painter, and maybe after in life as well. What was some big challenges or something?
I feel like in life would probably be like easier to answer. I think I went through a little stint at some point last year. I found myself in a job that was a bit toxic. My co-workers were not very supportive. It seemed like everyone was in competition with each other. It was like a crab mentality. Everyone was trying to compete with each other. The pay was not the best either, and so I had to quit my job in I think September last year. And so I had no plan. I was home for a month, applying for new jobs, and you could tell how difficult it is. I just moved into a new apartment with my girlfriend. City centre, obviously it's expensive.
Really expensive,
there's like bills, there's food, there's everything to think about. So it was quite difficult adjusting. I think like I barely slept most times because you're sleeping, but then you remember you need a job. And it was a whole month. It was difficult, and as like an international like student, I came here as an international student. Like migrants I don't think they get the same opportunities as like the people here. Like there's more scrutiny for us, so it's not as easy.
It's not as easy.
To get jobs. So it was a very difficult moment until I found my new job, paid better working conditions, close to where I live. It seemed like a match made in heaven.
That's good.
And thankfully, like I was able to move from that dark place. But it was very difficult, not just on me physically, but then like on my mental health as well. Like it took like a considerable dip because you're always constantly anxious and like thinking about like what's next. So I'll say that's one of the most trying times like I've faced like here in the UK.
And do you have any current projects you're working on? Or?
Yes. Currently, I am working in collaboration with 42nd Street Gallery. It's a gallery in the Northern Quarter. I'm working on a project that addresses like mental health issues.
That's great.
Specifically for black men. They have got a group in their gallery called Jet 42, and they hold like sessions where it's a safe space for men to talk about some of the issues they're facing, and because I don't think there's enough support.
True.
Men are usually told to firm it, to be like a macho, to be strong, and like, you don't cry, you can't show your emotions, you can't be vulnerable. But these people try to create a space for these men to be able to talk about their issues, to be able to find solutions to their issues. So I'm working in collaboration with them, speaking to some of the men in the group, and creating 10 pieces of artwork to be exhibited.
That's nice.
Later this year.
That's cool.
So that's a current project I'm working on, and I'm fully devoted to.
That's cool.
Yeah,
so sounds really good.
Yeah. Just trying to find other avenues for people to highlight some of the issues like men face that people overlook. Because everyone just thinks it's okay.
Or they think it's easy for men, but
exactly.
it's not easy.
It's not. Like if a man is depressed, like it's more difficult to talk about it because there's nowhere to talk about it. You kind of have to like firm it yourself and find solutions yourself. It's like earlier when you spoke about the little depressive episode you had. You had to bring yourself out of that.
Exactly.
But not everyone has the opportunity to do that themselves.
Or the power.
Yes. And people just sink deeper, and we lose lots of men to that. So hopefully this project would shine some light on these issues and give people the help they need.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
What about any future projects, like, or are you thinking about any future projects? Or?
Last year, actually I think a year and a half ago, I also started like a project for women, black women as well, where it's like romanticizing the black women. I find like in our society, like because black women have had to adapt to be strong and handle business for themselves. Like they're neglected because it's like, you can do it, you can sort yourself out, you do. But then this project was romanticizing the black woman. We talk about how like men are strong, but most of the time like women make these strong men. Like I grew up in a family where my mother, my sisters,
my mother said my mom, she was a strong woman.
exactly, and I'm sure you are who you are because of her strength, her discipline, like her attentiveness to you, to mold you into the man you are now. I feel like lots of people overlook that, like a mother
there are many strong women
exactly
there.
So this was also a project I started. I feel like after finishing this, I'll pick that up again and see if I can also get people to be more aware of the fact that there are strong women around us, but the fact that they are strong does not mean they should be neglected or left to fend for themselves. Like we should be able to support them as well.
True.
That's another future project I might pick up.
Very meaningful, I'll say.
Exactly.
Fulfilling projects, gives you a sense of fulfillment.
I'm hoping I can challenge like the status quo and get people to start thinking about these topics, because they're not new topics. I feel like people know about them, but they just need a reminder.
For sure. That's a crazy thing with the reminder. That's true. Like we are people that all the time we need to be reminded, and sometimes it's we need to be reminded I don't know to explain it. That's why sometimes I see people speaking about the same subjects all the time, for example, but still have success even how? Because people forget. They need to be reminded. Sometimes repetition is good for the people to remember the issues, and I
feel like there are two sides to it as well. Like
you can go extreme or exaggerated? No?
Yeah, like there's the element of that people who are facing the same struggles, and so speaking about these things gives them a sense of like community, like exactly like other people feel the same thing as I do. Do you get what I mean? So it gives them hope that they can talk about it, like it's okay to talk about. There's also the other side of it, where we need to remind people who don't face the same struggles but can empathize with it. Because if this is not your daily reality, like I'm
thinking now, it just came to my mind, but I think also for this group of people that they're affected ones, I think we need to be careful for them not to get just the victim mentality, to get just the you're supported, and move on with the support that you know. I'm thinking, I'm just came to my mind, because sometimes people, it's easy to get into the victim mentality. Oh, I'm like that, I'm like that. You know, we all do that, you know, sometimes. But I think it's you know, like with the support, to find a way to get out of that the problem, if it's possible. No. Slowly.
And I feel like that's one thing I'm trying to address with this current project for the men facing mental health issues. Not only are we, I feel like the first step is to highlight the problem, of course, but then not only are we highlighting it and letting other people be aware of these issues, there are also groups that can help them. So it's not just...
So give him a bit of solution as well.
It's not just...
Making awareness, but also some solutions.
Exactly.
That's really good.
Exactly that. So hopefully it does make a change, these projects, and I'll be happy to see that people's lives have changed positively because of an initiative like I've started. So looking forward to it.
Hopefully. That's cool.
I'll definitely invite you to the exhibition.
For sure.
I feel like lots of people get stuck in that corporate wheel of doing like the same things over and over again. Like for instance, I work a 9 to 5. If after working a 9 to 5 for someone else, like I can't find time for myself to develop my crafts, to work on, you know, a profession that I would love to do, then what am I doing? It means the bulk of my time is dedicated to like a different company, a different course, which I didn't start. So long term, like how does that like benefit me personally? Do you get what I mean? So lots of people are stuck in that corporate wheel because you keep doing the same thing over and over and over.
And it gives you a fake sense of
security.
Security or purpose, because you think I'm working this, but it's not what you want or what you need.
You're just satisfied and content, but then people just don't strive for like something more than the regular. So I do think if it's just 1 hour a day, if it's even 30 minutes, it's about how many times you can show up for that 30 minutes rather than like sitting for 2 hours or 3 hours doing something. It's just if it's 30 minutes every day across a year,
it's a lot.
You'd become a master at what you do.
It's just about prioritizing and maybe, you know, eliminate things. It's just about managing time, things like that.
And with this, it's an investment in yourself. It's not like it would never go to waste regardless. If you drop it 3 months from now, it's still something you have.
The skill still is there.
Exactly. So I do think with anything we're doing, if you can just find like time for like it's, I see as self-development. Do you get what I mean? Like, even if it's sewing, if it's photography, if it's art, it's you're developing your skills for yourself, which could come in handy 5 years from now, 2 years from now, even tomorrow. So I think people definitely need to like be more intentional about setting aside time for
the skills and exactly what they want to develop behind them. For example, here I think Steve Jobs is the one from Apple. So he took a calligraphy course at one point. Then he didn't use it for I don't know a while, like few years. And after when he became CEO, or what was it on Apple, he implemented that calligraphy, I don't know, characters from there in the Apple MacBook and made it like a selling point. So you see, sometimes you're like, I did that course and it didn't help me.
Yeah.
You don't know 10 years down the line.
Yeah.
Maybe you're gonna incorporate it somehow just because you have an idea about it.
Yeah.
So it's like the same, like you trying different styles and it will be like, hey, it didn't work. But you don't know in 10 years somehow, just because you tried it and you have the idea and the knowledge is there.
Yeah.
At one point you're gonna combine everything, or you do something like you never know when it comes in hand.
Yeah.
I don't know,
I feel like it's kind of like putting money in a bank for like a rainy day.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know when that is, but like
at one point you use it.
Yeah, exactly. Like it will never go to waste.
Yeah, the skills never. The investment in yourself.
Exactly. So I 1000% support that. It's one thing to like, it's good to obviously have like a secure job or like routines you follow that make your life have meaning. But then lots of people do not invest in things to do with themselves, which I think long term is very detrimental to.
And I think it makes them, like some cases they can become even depressive, or they're like, what am I doing here? They're like, if you don't have at least a hobby, or at least something that is for yourself, I think it can be somehow damaging.
Sure.
Or you might search that meaning that even a hobby, you don't need to do money with this. Like even if you have an artistic hobby or anything that you always do it, if you don't have it, you're gonna search for meaning in drinking, in smoking, in spending time with bad people, because you need that. You need it, and if you don't get it from you don't putting aside time, or you don't decide to start something, even as a hobby, that you might never know where it leads you after. You'll search for the meaning in something else, in bad things. People
sometimes say like an idle mind is the devil's workshop. Like you find that if you're not doing anything, like you would find something else to do.
Exactly.
And now the question is, if you are not being proactive to find things to fill up your time, like these things that come to find you, then like are they going to be helpful? Like you said, things like drinking or like partying with friends, where it might seem fun in the moment,
but it's not leading you anywhere.
Exactly.
Now let's imagine someone wants to become a painter. How should they go about it? Like, or also maybe tie in with how would you do it if you're starting today from zero? But with the knowledge that you have today, how would you go about? Maybe you will go a bit different now. Maybe the same. So how would you do it?
I think firstly I'd say practice.
10,000 hours.
Honestly, that's the only way to be like the best at what you do.
Just do it all the time.
All the time. Literally any time you get, you should practice. If there's something I would have done differently, is to make more time to practice. I don't think I practice as much as I should be doing, and so that's something I definitely will change. Another thing I would say for someone who is starting is find yourself in spaces or clubs or groups that support this thing, because not only do you learn from people, but
it motivates you.
Exactly, it motivates you to
reminds
do
you
better. Exactly, because if you're by yourself, it's very easy to lose sight of like, why am I doing this? Why is this important to me? But if you've got like a group, or even if it's like a course you're doing, like something that keeps you showing up and consistent every single time, I feel like that helps. Networking also helps. Going to events, going to
but like we're speaking here, how would you start, like even to becoming good at I mean, you said network, but this is when you're already established.
Not really.
No.
So networking in the sense of the like events where people
with the same
same people, people who think the same way, people who do the same thing. You find
I get
like mentors. I think a few months ago I found I came across an artist called Pauline Bailey, who she does like large scale like installation works, which isn't the kind of art I do. But then after my first 2 conversations with her, like she's definitely someone I could learn more from.
For sure.
We don't do the same type of art, but then just being in that same space with someone like that, you get to pick their mind, and it challenges you to think differently, or to apply new ways to what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I definitely think like networking, practicing first and foremost, networking with people, and like being part of groups where like they support and encourage like what you do.
Yeah.
That way you are always reminded of why you're doing what you do.
True.
So yeah, those are the tips I'll give to someone starting from scratch.
What about like about courses? Like, should they take any course, or should they get a mentor, or should they get a teacher, or should they go out to art school?
I think I personally have never been to art school, and I've never taken an art course. Everything I know is self-taught.
That's good.
But there's so many resources I've relied on like YouTube, where you have tutorials that are free for every topic you want to explore. So I feel like YouTube is a resource that is a bit underutilized when it comes to art, but people can rely on that like very heavily. First, I want people like who are starting to build that confidence for themselves by practicing so many times.
Because after the confidence will come automatically.
Exactly. Once you're confident in what you're doing, videos on YouTube span every single topic you could think of. Anything you want to know how to paint, if it's how to create like texture, add values and depth to your painting, you can find videos on YouTube. If it comes to like realism, if that's your cup of tea, if it comes to like anything you can think of,
it's there.
Definitely tutorials there for you. Once you've gotten to a point where you're confident enough in what you're doing, you could learn everything and anything. I know that courses that also are helpful, so that's definitely something worth investing in as well.
What about, like, let's say they started, they do the 10,000 hours, they kind of find their style. Also, like, I mean, I can relate a bit from photography, and you can correct me on this, but to find their style is by them practicing a lot, and they will slowly find it, because I think like the amateurs, when they start, even if it's a photographer or maybe an artist, they have these amateurish questions. How can I find my style? You just started, you don't have a style.
Exactly.
You just need to do the 10,000 hours, do 2-3 years, and the style will just come from itself.
Exactly.
Because if you think about it, you can't find your style. Your style finds you.
Exactly. Even I've been painting for several years, and I feel like I am still trying to find like a style for myself.
But you already have one,
which can evolve.
Of course.
The more
that's
you
your
learn,
choice. It's okay.
The more it starts.
You shape it different
and mold. So I don't think people should start with like a style in mind. I want this.
No, just go see what they enjoy the most,
and then
go more and more in depth.
Because the more you start to learn about like how to do things differently, you start to pick which things or which methods like work best for you. And then you apply that, and then that's
and you combine
blend is your style. Do you get what I mean? So I think it's the same with music, photography,
the same. I think so. The same. So you said you got this opportunity with the gallery. How could like the same like an artist can get like an opportunity like this with the gallery, or I don't know if you had any other opportunities to work with someone, or like how should they go about to get something like that?
I think it's just putting yourself out there. With this opportunity, with this gallery in particular, I was headed to the gym with my girlfriend, and I saw a poster outside the gallery,
and you just went in,
and then I sent them an email, and then they said they were interested. I gave them a few of my work, so they
have an idea
just for free. And then after we started talking about like collaborations later, there's so many organizations on the internet that have open calls for artists. Just keep an eye out for that, or just literally go on Google and search for open calls. You'd see lots of organizations which are like opening up their doors to receive artwork, and then from that you can start to speak to people, put yourself out there, pitch yourself to people, and then you'd get the right connections from that. I believe.
So you see, basically, it's just to be open, and be receptive, and be all the time looking for it. Because if you're not looking for it, you're not gonna see it.
You won't get it. Honestly, like with opportunities in general, I feel like if you don't make a conscious effort to see them, you won't get it. Because if you're just in your little bubble, you're doing nothing proactively to get opportunity. No one is going to hand hand it to you.
Sure.
So you need to actively be on the lookout and like search for these things. And thankfully, like when it comes to art, like there's so many opportunities out there.
That's good.
You might get a few people who might not immediately warm up to your work or might not be interested.
But it's normal. It's normal. It's life.
Yes, exactly. It happens. You just need to keep an eye out and search for these opportunities.
And then basically sometimes even ask. Like I heard many people that they say sometimes you need to ask. So even for example, in my opinion, like if for example you go around to different gallery, you can just go inside and say, hey, who's the manager? I don't know. Can I have a word with you? Look, I'm this guy. People don't do this anymore. I know it's a bit old-fashioned, but I think even this can work. Or the same, send an email, but it's kind of an asking, when you do that.
Yes, exactly.
So sometimes it's as simple as you need to ask. But some people, they just eliminate the possibility from the beginning. Maybe someone else seen the poster and they will be like, don't take it.
And then just
they don't even ask. You know what I'm saying? You never know.
For me, I just think there's nothing to lose when it comes to these things. Because you're not paying any money. You're not. It's just literally stepping out of your comfort zone.
Just
and then trying something. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, that's fine. You try elsewhere. So I think it's just taking that first step to find these opportunities. Like you said, like I've walked into some galleries and they've told me no. And that's okay. That's perfectly fine. So it's just about stepping out of your comfort zone and then doing something that challenges you and finding opportunities for yourself. Do you know what I mean?
That's cool. Like the funny thing with me is like I also like enjoy drawing a lot. Like and when I was a kid, I was drawing like in the summer or something probably. Draw like clothes. I had like 30-40 drawings and I was kind of collecting them and drawing them. And at one point I even said to my parents something like I would like to do a drawing school or something like that. And this was like 6th grade, something like that. 7th grade maybe 5th or 6th grade. Anyway. And they kind of ignored me, and then after on 8th grade you need to go to high school. I mean, you need to choose your high school or something like that. And the same, like I didn't know exactly how with those files how you do it, but also I was not a very good student. I don't know if that's the problem, but I was like, I would like to go to the high school of art, and I didn't get it. I was in a very bad high school anyway. So I have this thing in me, but. And that's why sometimes, like now, I feel an urge when I see a graphic tablet with screen. I feel like I want to get to try it. But I'm like, is this my new shiny syndrome object? Is this my ADHD, or is this because it goes back to when I was a kid? What is something that is drawing me towards, and maybe this is to be another purpose. You know what I'm saying?
I do think you should
try it,
give it a chance
and just sell it.
Just pursue it, because you never know. And with these things, like especially when it comes to like the creative talent, I find that the more you do it, the better you keep getting. And if it's something that's been in you for several years, like I personally think you should go for it. You just never know like what could come out of it. Like I keep telling people, like people go like, oh, I can't draw, I can't do art.
You learn.
I feel like just do it. And for me, I don't think anything is right or wrong when it comes to art. Like it's just what you're feeling and what you can produce. Do you get what I mean? So I think you should 100%
just try it.
Pursue it.
But you see, that's all I would love to do that, but in the same time, that's why like I need first to somehow make some extra money and maybe free myself from a job. If like maybe make money just without needing a job. So then more time will be free, so I can try it because now I'm already these YouTube videos, photography from time to time. I do sport. I walk my dog. Like the time,
there's no time.
It's no time, So, but I would like to.
So I feel like it's something as little as
1 hour a day or a week or something, just to try it, to see what you feel, no?
Exactly, because I found I became very busy these past few months, and I wasn't painting as much, I wasn't drawing as much, and my girlfriend advised I get like a small sketch pad.
Yeah.
So you can take that with you wherever
so you
and practice.
You feed your creative
exactly
urge.
So if you keep waiting for
the
like
perfect moment,
exactly, it would just never come. You would need to like make that time, or find a way to merge it with your everyday life, and find a way to make it work. Do you get what I mean?
True. Well, you know, it's the thing, like everyone has the same time in the day, 24 hours, but it's about priorities.
Yes.
What do you think is an important quality to have
as a person?
As a person, yeah.
I think integrity, being
sticking up with your morals, values,
and values,
like that, and,
regardless of the circumstance, because I feel like these things like make you.
Yeah.
So if you're one way, or your values are a certain way when you're interacting with one person, and then it switches when it comes to another, like I feel like you as a person then become hollow, because what gives you substance, what makes you you, is like these values you hold like true to yourself. So I think integrity for me is like the best value to have as a person.
That's good.
Yeah,
I think you're right with the integrity, because I remember a quote, and it says, someone that is a friend to everyone has no character. Yeah. Because you can't be friend of everyone. You can't.
Yeah.
Some some of your opinions will be in conflict with other people. And if you're trying to do sometimes the right thing, the good thing, you'll be in conflict with the people that want to do bad.
Yeah. Exactly.
So you can't, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So
it's something like, because I'm very much aware, like I'll come across like several people who have several ways of doing things and are different. I try to be as like tolerant of different people and their perceptions, but it won't change the way I think or feel.
Yeah, exactly.
I can strive to understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, but that doesn't change you. Yeah,
exactly.
That's really good. I have as well, like I think I even put it in a video, but I didn't release the video. But anyway, something like this. We can agree to disagree.
Yeah.
We can have different opinions and still be friends.
Exactly.
That's my opinion as well. But that doesn't mean I need to agree with you. I can understand your point of view. I'm not gonna jump and do something if I don't agree. But so let's agree to disagree.
Disagree, yeah.
That's fine.
I perfectly understand that. I feel like lots of people think like it's either we're on the same page or like we can't like coexist or whatever. But then you can live with people who you don't agree with.
As long as they are not on the extreme.
Exactly.
I mean, you can have that opinion and you can respect others' opinion as well. So that's fine. But some people, they are like, if you're not like them, there is a problem. You know, they become maybe aggressive or very, so there's the problem.
Yeah.
What would you say is the killer of all dreams?
I'll say fear is the killer of all dreams. Lots of people are like so scared or in a fearful mindset right from the start. Like they do not dare to dream at all. And so these dreams are killed even before they can be given like the chance to be explored or to to be delved into. So I think fear cripples a lot of people right from the start. They don't even attempt to try. Exactly. So
it's crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
Like even me before starting the YouTube channel, I was a bit scared, and I actually printed some quotes, and I have one of them. You have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Others not as good as you already did it.
Right.
So there are others not as good as you. They are doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Why are you not doing it? But you don't know till you don't try.
Yeah.
And after I said that, why not? Why not do it?
Yeah.
Why not you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ask yourself these questions when you're afraid to start something.
Yeah.
If there are others worse than you already and they're doing it, what's stopping you
from doing it?
And after ask yourself, why not? Why not you?
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Lots of people just do not give themselves a fighting chance at all, just because they're worried of how they'll be perceived, whether or not it would work, like all of that. They start to overthink it and then are crippled into not doing anything at all. And I feel like that kills dreams like very quickly.
For sure.
Yeah, very quickly.
Okay guys, so this was all. This was Andrew. It was a very nice conversation. I really enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed it as well. And as usual, I'm gonna ask him to sign the table. So Andrew, if you would like to please sign the table. Just a moment so I can record you as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. See you guys.